So let's see if they pick up the Lumber, but they're going to go with the Mina first, which is very interesting because she's not the strongest meta. So Nova's going to pick up Malik and Zinio right here, or L'Oreal, yeah. So Zinio is going to be picked up here. Again, a very top priority pick, either the Malik or Zinio. So on the side of SK Light here, they need to take Malik. Yep, Malik is going to be picked up. Zil will be picked up there. So far, pretty decent drafts on both sides.
Lumbar going to be picked up for Nova, as well as Slims, a character that we didn't see in the first matchup. Lots of damage, as well as that long range.
And then Lindis is out. Oh my, I can't wait to see Lindis play here. She is a very versatile hero, very fast. Can't wait to see how this team is going to play her. And Wonder Woman, of course. Wonder Woman falling on the end of the picks, not at the very beginning of the picks, which is so interesting.
The final counter pick being left available. The Lubu we saw have a very valiant effort in that last quarterfinal. It is going to be ticking down. He is hovering it. Nova communicating, taking themselves down on that time.
Yeah, Lubu is picked so often because he can be flexed. You can jungle to Lubu. You can play side lane with him. He's very strong in the side lane. He usually gets a punish, and he can basically abuse and get ahead of his side laner because he's mobile. He has 3 jumps, right? He can go in there, take jungle, take your jungle, get ahead of you, and then abuse his advantage lead, and then basically rotate and gank the enemy opponent. So let's see how this Lubu is going to play out.
Obviously, as well, you had that Mina on the first pick. Now, how's this synergistic going to work with this with this composition now that you have Wonder Woman, Lindis, and that Mina on the same team?
Yeah, Mina and Wonder Woman, they're good at... Mina has a pull, a Death Sith pull. She can pull enemies to her. Wonder Woman can also pull an enemy to her as long as they're over 50% health. If they're lower than health, then Wonder Woman will pull herself to the enemy. So if they use that and just basically just stick on top of the person that Mina has focused, and Wonder Woman can then lasso, that's going to be a really tough combo to get out of.
All right, Sweet J, you barely got your pick correct in the first quarterfinal. You're 1 for 1, SK with the victory. Now, Team Kebab, Nova, who's going to win?
I think Nova is going to take this because I do like their Zenio pick along with Lumber. You know, they have Slims, who's far range, and he can jump around with his mobility. So with iFlex on an ADC, that's his bread and butter. So him on an ADC like Slims with protection from his team and L'Oreal, I think they're in a really good spot here.
Well, let's find out if you agree at home with Sweet J. Make sure that you go to Twitter using the hashtag Valor Series. Let us know what you think of it. But with that, we're going to get right into the game. It's going to be our second quarterfinal of the European Top 8 bracket here in Season 1 of the Valor Series, presented by AT&T.
Yeah, so let's see which team's going to invade here. I doubt they invade, but it looks like the side of King and SK Light, they look like they want to invade here. No, they're not. They're just getting vision on one another and getting, basically, Slims is going to farm along with Zenio. Zenio is up there because Zenio is going to help Slims get a faster jungle rotation. But let's talk about Slims and why he was picked. You know, he actually is a very mobile hero. Every third attack, he has his passive called Piercing. Every third attack, he gains a Pierce effect. Both on the target enemies behind it, they take 130% of their normal damage, which makes Slims a very fast jungle. Okay, watch. When he stacks 3 times, you see the extra damage that comes out on that golem. This is what makes Slims so good in jungle because he can clear really fast.
And not only that, but you take a look at the dive potential onto the side of Kebab. Flex is going to have that opportunity to get those speed ups and to get that ability to maneuver around in these team fights, which I know is definitely going to be helpful for Nova as they are lurking on the bottom side of this map.
And look at this jump there. He has something to leap of vitality. He can leap over walls. It also increases his attack damage by 50 for 5 seconds after he lands. The one thing I do want you guys to watch with Slims here, he has a flying spear. The farther he throws it and it lands on enemy hero, it will stun them up to 2.5 long dead seconds. So if he lands that spear, they engage with Slims landing that spear, it's going to be GG for the side of Nova.
I think every dead second is a long second for every single one of these teams.
2.5 seconds is a lifetime of a stun.
It's just, you want to get back on the battlefield. You want to make sure that you can help out your team. And Kebab, we saw, even though they are an unknown, a dark horse, as you might call it, they still have had a semi-successful draft.
Yeah, there's a spear coming out. Oh, it hits the Malik there, and the engage is going to happen here. And then look at Nova Dar. He used Endure at the right time, but Malik is going to get this kill here.
Such a long stun. That's going to be L'Oreal off, and a great little counter effort here by the members of Kebab. That's going to be a 1-for-1. You've got the Sentinel as well as that Dragon available for them to be able to take.
Since we talk about Slims, let's talk about Lindis a little bit. She has a passive called Tread Softly. So whenever she passes through her bush, she gets increased movement speed and lets her run around, and it strengthens her next normal attack for a short period. And beautiful rotation here by Kebab there, securing the Abyssal Dragon, putting them in a level lead. But with Lindis, when she comes out the bush, she fires 2 arrows, dealing a lot of physical damage against her opponent. So watch how she plays around the bush. That's her win condition, is fighting around these bushes.
Fighting around the bushes, but more importantly, ensuring that they get these priority targets into the team fights. You're going to be able to see that Sage Golem being taken right there. Such
a great play by Kebab. King there's Mina setting up and taking down the Golem's health. So she's basically increasing the rotation speed of Lindis to be able to clear jump. But look at it, level 6 Lindis there. And Lombard is not going to be able to stand a chance to get out of here. And look at the damage and the cutting potential from Lindis.
So we're at just over the 3-minute mark. Dark is going to take down King, and it looks like there is potential for another one. You're going to have Sepik join the fray.
Yeah,
that's going to be a double kill for the Lindis.
There. Well, nice ultimate by the Zenio, coming from afar on the side of the map, and they get a tower for this. And look at the damage Slim's doing that tower. Every third stat, look at the amount of damage that just hits that tower when he stacks 3 times there. This is why Slims is so good. Once he can stack and hit down towers extremely efficiently due to his passive there.
Coming up on the 4-minute mark, 8.1 gold across the board. Kebab and Nova keeping themselves nice and even. And let's talk about this early game coming into the mid game on these teams. Which of these teams are going to have the priority once those first 2 items get completed?
Yeah, it's going to depend on how they're going to fight here. Slims lands his stun, and he's able to focus on that. Look at Wonder Woman. She got stunned, and now he's focused on. Her ultimate didn't even protect her. And now Lindis, with the bush there, get the speed advantage and able to run away. But so far, Nova is fighting very well here, and they're engaging really, really well. The Malik, though, got a 3-man cleave on the enemy team. This may turn around the fight for the side of Kebab here, and he's ulting away. Wow, what a beautiful play by Nova there.
Good little effort by them. Flex is going to take out, and this Slims, something that we weren't really expecting in this match, is already creating himself a pretty valiant effort. That's going to be actually a double kill.
Yeah, Flex on these marksman champions. He just 1v1'd the Lindis there and won that fight. So really good job on the side of iFlex.
Coming up on the 5-minute mark, it's now Nova supporting themselves an 11,500 gold lead. Already secured themselves 1 turret in this game. That middle Tier 1 is going to be extremely important for allowing them to get out and inside the jungle. Anytime you can take out the outer ring, that allows you these opportunities to push farther into the enemy jungle and set yourself some up these ganks. And with the lack of vision capabilities in Arena of Valor, it's going to be hyper important when that outer ring gets taken.
Yeah, exactly. That's the key. It just opens up map pressure for the team. This is where I love to see Nova take advantage. They're exactly doing that with the middle tower down. It opens up map pressure for them to now take objectives like the Abyssal Dragon, which Kebab actually took earlier. So with Nova taking it, it's going to put them ahead. But look at Kebab, decisive engaging, and who takes it? The Lubu takes the Dragon.
Crane takes the Abyssal Dragon, but that doesn't mean the fight is going to stop just yet. Nova is prioritizing the targets. He's going to be able to take Louis 1v9. That's going to be the Wonder Woman kicking down and out. And now the members of Nova are turning into a bloodbath. 10-3 already at the 6-minute mark. A double kill going into that L'Oreal's hands. The strength and power of these carries are showing through.
Yeah, Nova is doing such a good job focusing down. You know, Kebab is a little more split out and in the open. They definitely want to fight, you know, and not bunch up. And with the way Nova is playing there, you know, they're focusing down whoever is overextended. They're just protecting iFlex really well, and he's basically doing a lot of the damage in the back line and deleting whatever opponent that's kind of out of position and within his range.
As now we have a little bit of a self-reset. You can see members of Nova have spread themselves across in that 2-1-2 format across the map. Light trying to see what he can do to be able to take this bird. As now the other outer turret in the top side is going to go down. It's going to be Flex taking yet another kill onto the mark. 4-0-6 for that Slims.
Yeah, look at the Slims. Look at the Lumber. Oh, barely missing the Malik. And does he land the stun? He does not. That spear has such a far range, and if he lands that really far, the stun can be a game changer in these engages.
The game changer is there, but it's Kebab that are getting roasted on the Barbie themselves as Nova eSports is continuously taking over. They have got themselves 2 towers, and wow, look how early of a Slayer they're taking. We saw Slayers post 10 minutes in all 3 games in the first quarterfinal.
I mean, Nova is just playing extremely well. Their decision-making and their macro play is very good. Like they said, they talked about being more opportunistic, waiting for the enemy team to engage, and then taking advantage of missed positions or misplays, and that's exactly how they're playing in this game right now.
9 seconds left remaining on the next Abyssal Dragon. You've got the Dark Slayer buff into the hands of Nova eSports, and you want to talk about swift, clean, and on the mark. That's exactly what they're doing so far in this match.
Yeah, and look at Nova. Again, they're taking a Dragon. They have Dark Slayer. This is a really smart play because when you have Dark Slayer, you can't contest the Dragon. If you do, then you're going to ask for, look at the amount of damage coming out. You're going to ask just to get deleted because they have a Dark Slayer buff. And now because you try to save or steal the Dragon, you're down 1 person, and that allows them to take the tower on the bottom here.
Ask for death and ye shall receive. As light turns to dark, the gray screen is going to be available. The bottom tier 1 turret is down, but the onslaught of Nova still continues, looking to make themselves the big bang as they are going to go straight towards on the King.
Wow, look at that lumbar, that combo. Such a beautiful play by Y01 there. I mean, that was really good team fight there by getting the kill on L'Oreal or Mina and then securing the tower. Now they take 3 towers from that 1 Dark Slayer.
This is what
That's really worth it. That's
this is
a great
what the
trade.
power of an early Dark Slayer provides for a team that is ahead as far as Nova eSports. And now it's the power of rotations that's putting themselves in another advantageous position. They're going to try to take down. He's going to bob and weave, but it doesn't matter. Flex is going to take down another tower, another member of Kebab, rather. Nova Dark is going to get shut down as well, but it doesn't matter because Nova is rocking and rolling in this game.
Yeah, and that's where one thing they try to get the kill there. Instead, they should have just focused the tower because Slims, again, can take these towers down so fast with the items that he has already. So let's see if they're going to try to push this tower again. And with the range there, they have to dive onto the Slims and stop him from taking the tower. Look at the ult onto the tower. Slims is going to back off a little bit because Lindis is putting some pressure. And yeah, they're going to give up this tower and not risk it.
There's no reason to become overzealous because things like that happen. Lubu is going to go down. He's going to be sent back to the dark side as we are at just over 9 minutes into this game, 20 seconds until the next Abyssal Dragon mucks up. And with 2 for 1 in favor of Nova, they're looking to continue to push this lead. 5,000 gold.
Yeah, for sure. Let's take a look at like where the item lead is as well. I mean, the gold advantage is pretty significant for Nova. They have, 5K gold lead, and look at the items here. Like Slims has completed his Soul Reaver, his Clan's Sancti, which is an amazing item. It's a staple for marksman because it gives crit, chance, damage, all around good item for marksman. And look at the damage coming out here. Wonder Woman can't even survive against the L'Oreal. And Nova just dominates Kebab here with these counter engages.
As now the legendary mark gets thrown out for iFlex. You knew that he was going to be the carry, the captain of the team, as well as the major damage dealer. 8-0 and 8. The inner tower in the mid lane has been taken down. The high ground tower is next on the menu. It looks like Nova is going to take just that, and the onslaught continues.
Yeah, and look at this dive. They're so decisive. They kill both heroes, and this is going to be the game-ending push here. Very nice focus from the side of Nova there. They're so decisive in their focusing, and really good play by iFlex on this Slims. I mean, the L'Oreal, the Lumbar, they played really well and synergized together to win a lot of these team fights.
And just like that, at just under the 11-minute marks, game number 1 goes in favor of Nova eSports in what's safe to say a dominating performance.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, their rotations, their team fights, and they played exactly how their play style is. They're kind of opportunistic aggressive. They aren't the ones to be aggressive.
Calculated aggression.
Yeah,
is, I think,
they waited for they baited the dragon. They waited for Kebab to trying to get the dragon, and then they just turned on them. And then then when they knew they had a nice lead, and Kebab didn't have their entire team up, the last push, they just dove under the tower and killed those 2 and secured the game. So really nice decisions there by Nova.
I think it's safe to say Nova was comfortable in the way that they executed those team fights, as opposed to some of the stalling as well as the uncertainty that SK had in their quarterfinal 1 victory. It was Nova that knew the advantage that they could push upon. As we talked about, they took a 7-minute Dark Slayer, which seems very normal, but it's very uncharacteristic to what we've seen today.
But you see how they posture. They actually went took jungle control of Kebab's jungle on the Darkslayer side. They got Darkslayer control of the map, and as soon as they know that none of the Kebab members were there, it's just too dangerous to enter that side, they immediately rushed to Darkslayer, and that's how you set up the objective to take Darkslayer. You want to win control of that side of the map when it's in play, is what they call it. When Slayer is in play, you got to make sure you win that side of the map.
Well, we're going to take a look back at a couple replays of how Nova was able to dominate this fight. The first of those replays happening at just over the 5-minute mark, and it was right around that Abyssal Dragon where the members of Kebab tried to get themselves something, but it just didn't work out.
Yeah, look at the counter engage here. They're ready. They're expecting it. Zenio is okay. He can ult from the other side of the map to come in there. That's exactly what he does, and it wins him the fight. He lands a Malice, which is the stun when he gets his wings up and lands down on the ground. That stuns the enemy. Mala can't do anything. Team splits up. Nova then secures all these kills, and they also secured the dragon, which is a huge lead. That gave them a 3K gold lead and level lead as well.
The first dragon obviously was taken by Kebab, but it was that effort by Nova to say, all right, the next one, this needs to be ours. This needs a priority. The second replay is going to be coming at just over the 8-minute mark, where we saw Nova continue to push it off. The Darkslayer had been gone,
yeah,
and this was where they just took on the King.
Yeah, he uses his dash ability, his B, to get behind the Mina, and then uses the ultimate to stun her, because there's no way she can run. She can't run up, because she runs up, the enemy team is going to get her. She has to run from a straight line, and Lombard lines up that ult perfectly to get her.
And that entire engagement, we actually started it right after the onslaught started happening by Nova, because they went turret 1, turret 2, and then high ground tower number 3. And it was that efficiency to know and the comfort in their own composition to say, you know what? We just took ourselves that Darkslayer. We're going to go to the bot lane. We're going to push, take the high ground, and then they rotated themselves towards that mid.
Yeah, just really nice plays there. I mean, I love watching. You can tell a team has really practiced and trained by watching how they tower dive. If a team is coordinated in their tower dives and they focus on the enemy and then take the tower, that tells me that they're all on the same page and they've been practicing these plays, and it's paying off.
Well, the final team fight of the match, or of the game rather, was the dominating force that Nova was the entirety of the time. Of course, they went into their base. They clean sweep through the bot side. They clean sweep through the mid. And as we can take with that replay that's going to pop up in just a second, that's going to show you again the domination of Nova.
And look at the focus here. They immediately get the Lindis out of the picture, and then they focus on the Malik, because Lindis has the range. She can poke them down as they're trying to get the tower. So as soon as they eliminated Lindis, this game was basically over. So really, really nice job there by the team of Nova with their synergy. They're a force to be reckoned with now.
Now, obviously, Nova takes themselves game number 1. Kebab faltered a little more than what I think they had hoped to do. So what does Kebab have to do coming into game number 2 to try to fix themselves off and even up this match?
Yeah, I don't know if the Mina first pick really worked for them. It was a very off-meta pick. I didn't expect it. Messed up my prediction rate,
did,
but it's
a little
cool.
bit.
But I think for them, like, first picking a Malik or a Zinnia would make more sense, given that Lombard, I mean, not Lombard, but Teamy's out the picture, Max out the picture. Pick these really strong side lane heroes that have so much AoE and utility that they give their team, like Zenio's ultimate, Angelic Splendor, damage reduction, the heal. Malik with his shock ultimate stuns an entire area effect, huge circle. So I feel like they need to basically pick the strong side laners first and not prioritize like a Mina, which isn't something that a lot of teams put a lot of emphasis on.
Max, Teamy, Liliana, Tulin, Superman, and Violet were the 6 bans that we saw in that game. What changes for Kebab's picks now, or sorry, not picks rather, for their bans now that they're going to be on the red side with that counter pick potential?
Yeah, I think they need to focus on either support target banning or mid mage target banning, because there's not a lot of good mage options besides Liliana, L'Oreal, and Tulin. You have to then run a mid Chog or mid Zil or something. So that's a good target ban to take away from the side of Nova. You can't really outban iFlex. He's played so many games. He can play any marksman.
That was going to be my next question.
Slims is something he
do
proficiency.
you sacrifice one of those bans? Because Kebab banned, what was it, Max, Teamy, and Liliana.
Right.
Do you drop any of those bans and ban the Slims?
Yeah, I don't think so, because iFlex is just too proficient on he's known to be an expert marksman player. He can play probably every single ADC in the game right now. So regardless of you banning Violet, he'll take a Slim. You ban Slims, he'll probably play like a Finnick or a Lindis or something. So I think that they need to focus more on the mid position, the mage position, because that's a key position. If you give take away a power pick and you get like a Tulin and they don't have a L'Oreal or something to counter your mid mage, then you're in a really good spot from a draft perspective.
You had a little bit of a delayed jungle aggression from the side of Nova eSports. Does Kebab change their early game counter jungling up in this second match?
Yeah, they did. They both actually did a good job. Both teams were accelerating the rotation speed. Both captains, like even the side lane, like Zinio helped Slims get his first red buff. Mina was helping Lindis get her a buff lower so she can rotate faster. So both teams are doing a really good job with jungle rotation, but none of them are invading like SK did. So I feel like they could be more aggressive, and it will pay off more knowing that these teams are kind of soloing the buffs and getting them low. If you invade the right time, that's a huge opportunity to get ahead and take that buff away.
Wonder Woman fell down to the 4-5 pick for Kebab on that blue side.
I was surprised.
Is there an opportunity now for Nova to actually take away that Wonder Woman on their blue side? Maybe take it on the second 3 pick before Kebab can get it into their hands.
Yeah, if they want like a nice initiation composition that wants to die, Wonder Woman is perfect for that. However, they didn't have to worry about Wonder Woman because they had Slims who had a lot of range, a L'Oreal that can dance around her. You know, Wonder Woman, it doesn't do as much unless you CC the L'Oreal. So I feel like the composition they picked into the Wonder Woman worked out really well for them. And Lombard is just good at defending, and his AoE, you know, Earth Shatter splitter just does so much stun potential, you know, once the team lines up, and that's exactly what they did to really protect iFlex.
Well, let's go ahead and get right into the bans because I know that's what we're excited to see for game number 2. It's going to be exactly the same.
Yeah, similar bans here. You can see these are the S tier level heroes for the most part.
Yeah.
Teamy, again, such a strong support. Anytime a team gets Teamy, I'm going to give the win over them usually. But Superman, Violet, super strong support. Violet, the reason why is because of her tactical fire. Every time she hits an enemy, it reduces the reload speed of that ability and allows her to poke and abuse it a lot more. That's the reason why she's like a SS tier for marksman. And Max is just so good solo lane. I mean, he has a global ultimate.
All right, I'm going to give you an opportunity to redeem yourself here. I know that
you, man.
the chances and probability calculations that you're doing in your head probably didn't predict a Mina first pick
No,
for
not at
Kebab.
all. Or
But
Crash.
now that you've got Nova taking up the blue side, they're going to have first pick for game number 2. Looking at the bans, what's it going to be?
Based on how they're drafting, they're going to secure a key side laner. So if Nova probably will take up the Zenio or the Malik, depending on what they like better. But based on what they were picking, they'll probably opt with the Zenio and just take that away. Because Zenio just works so well with an ADC comp. He's really good at protecting with the damage reduction, and also he has an AoE stun. So I think Zenio will probably be the pick that Nova's going to take first.
All right, Zenio, you guys heard it here first, but we want to know what you guys are thinking at home throughout the course of the day, as well over the course of the next 3 weeks. So make sure you take to Twitter with the hashtag Valor Series to let us know what you think about the broadcast, what you think about Suijay's predictions, as well as the beautiful face that he has available. And so let's get ready to get this champ select underway. I know we're really excited for this. Any surprises that you're expecting Kebab potentially to pull out? Are we going to see maybe a Maganga or something? You know,
Probably not.
probably not.
Not in the
I
meta,
can keep my
unfortunately.
hopes up, but
Maganga is more of a sustained fight over time hero because he has to stack his passive. And this meta is all about burst. It's all about CC and burst. So that's why a lot of these heroes see
Maganga,
Violet
man.
has massive burst, Teamy has massive CC, Superman has anti-CC, good initiation, and good burst. So that's why you see a lot of these heroes that have these multiple arsenal in their kits, they're the ones that get banned the most often.
I don't care about your analysis. I'm going to hold Maganga in my
Okay.
heart because
That's why you're
one
sitting here and
day,
you're not competing in there.
one day he's going to kind of. If only I could, sign up and.
Yeah. So
and
are you indirectly telling AOV to buff him?
No, I'm telling everyone at home that wants to get involved, find you the Maganga one trick that's sitting up in Master Tier and play him so I can see you and I can be so happy when you come on the broadcast. But we're working through a couple things. We're going to get that champ select started, but let's look forward a little bit. If Nova wins this on Saturday, they will be going up against SK Gaming, a team that we saw not be so much of the unstoppable force that we were expecting them to be in the first series.
Yeah, that's going to be if Nova takes this and wins this series, then going at SK, they have a uphill battle because SK is just more dominant. They're more aggressive. team, but Nova has some really good team fighting that shows a lot of potential. And SK is so far, all the EU teams I've watched today, they have the best team fighting synergy. So I think Nova will have a chance if they can get their team fights a little better than SK.
Now, we're not going to give any spoilers quite yet. We have a whole quarterfinal of this still left to finish. But with the other 4 teams that are in the bottom side of the bracket, is there anyone specific that you're excited to see?
Yeah, Royal. Royal is a team to watch because they were the champions of the recent Go 4 Cup. They actually reverse sweep Vitality, and you saw Vitality almost beat SK. So I feel like the top 3 teams is SK, Vitality, and Royal. Royal is that it's like a sleeping giant. It's like we know it's a giant, but it's like a sleeping giant. They can come out of nowhere and just take first place. So that's going to be very interesting to see how they do in the quarterfinals and see if they make it to Saturday.
All right, well, we're not going to give any spoilers quite yet because we want to go to Champ Select right now. We want to get this game number 2 underway, and so let's see what it is. Nova on the blue, Kebab on the red.
It could be a L'Oreal first pick or Zenio first pick here because, okay, there, L'Oreal, yep. I had to change it because Liliana and Tulin are banned, so that makes L'Oreal the second best pick. And because Zenio wasn't picked, of course Kebab's going to take. If they take Zenio and Malik here, that's a really strong pick there because both of them are really strong in terms of their AoE and utility. They say they're going to take the Ryoma here. Again, such a high priority pick because of his pressure in the side lane.
So now we're down to the 2-3 pick. Wonder Woman still left and available, but instead it's going to be that Lumbar that's being picked up, and the Lindis as well.
Wow, they're going to play Lindis this time.
That
like I said,
is
iFlex can play any ADC, and they want to deny the Lindis from the enemy teams. This leaves Wonder Woman open, so they need to play an engage comp with the Zenio here. So they need to play like a Zephyrs, Assassin, a Zill composition. They definitely will probably pick a Zill for mid lane or Chognar, because those are next kind of best mages that they have available that do magic damage. Yep, Zephy's going to be picked up here. They have to go all engage, and Zill, boom.
Oh, the last second swap to the Joker. Wow. We haven't seen a Joker yet today.
So, yeah, the reason why Joker Zill is such a good combo to take together, because Zill counters Joker. Joker, he has his second base called pick a card, any card. It makes him immune to any attack damage. So magic is what hurts him, not attack damage. So that 2-second invulnerability is huge against ADCs like Lindis that build weapon power, attack damage.
Omen and Zephys are picked up. Preda's going to get hovered over by the last member of Kebab, and
there's Chognar mid. They're in the side between Chognar or Preda. These are the 2 next best. Jinnar is a kind of anti-dive. He doesn't have the same range as a L'Oreal and Lindis. He's a little riskier to pick here. But if they want to play like a more of a dive poke comp, then he will be a little better because Jinnar is really good at diving and fighting around an entire team that wants to bunch up. However, they're going to go with the Preda on there, so they're going to try to poke with the Preda a little bit.
Preda, last pick for the counter pick, obviously for the side of Kebab, but I want to talk about that Joker pick and the potential that could create for this team Kebab.
Yeah, he has the punchline, which is his rocket's cannon shot. It has super massive range. He can just poke the heck out of people because it has like 1200 plus range on it. And also he has his canister, laughing gas canister ultimate. He basically runs at the person, wraps a canister around them, and then jumps back and stuns them. So Joker is actually very, very high skill tier ADC. And if he runs amok, he can do a lot of work.
Not only that, but you have on the other side for Nova, they were able to lock themselves the L'Oreal and the Lindis. What kind of impact is that going to have in this match?
Yeah, so L'Oreal and Lumbar serve as like a pew for Lindis. Lindis has got a poke, and you watch how they're going to play around the bush. Lindis excels around the bush. Every time she's in the bush, she gets a movement speed buff, and when she comes out the bush and she hits a hero, she hits 2 attack shots, actually. 2 attack shots come out that are empowered that do a lot of poke damage on the enemy team. So watch how she plays around the bushes. But with L'Oreal being on there, the team cannot bunch up against the L'Oreal. They need to basically CC her and delete her or try to play around her and lock down the Lindis.
All right, you have an opportunity. So you get one opportunity a day, and this is the day I'm going to let you. Does anything change for this game, or does Nova take it away?
I think based on team fighting, Nova is probably going to take this, and I do like the Lindis on iFlex, so I'm basically putting the game onto the Dark and iFlex here because they've been playing so well together so far.
Well, just like that, we're already into game number 2 of our second quarterfinal match of the day here for the top 8 European bracket. Nova is up 1-0. Kebab with an opportunity to tie themselves up, and it looks like they're going to be riding on the potential back of that Joker.
Yep, looks like no one's going to invade. They're going to just farm up passively here, and I think it's okay. I think for Ryoma though, they're a little stronger. Zill's a little weak in the early game. Ryoma's strong in the early game. Zill is weak, so I think this makes a lot of sense to play a little passive here. Omen though is one that we haven't seen play. He is a monster. solo 1v1. In team fights, he's not as useful, but he can push a lane down so fast because when he stacks his passive, it does true damage. So he's a tower killer. So just watch how Omen plays if he's by himself in lane there on top or bottom.
Another delayed jungle invasion by Nova. They're going to try to get a little bit of extra damage, but Y01's going to take a lot. He's going to be just down, but again, that's going to be first blood going to Light here for Team Kebab. Already getting themselves a little piece of early aggression, and there's that range. You saw that little rocket pop out from the Joker. That's going to be half to what we're splurged out for, because some of those snipes with the damage that has as he scales up on 2 or 3 items is going to do a heck of a lot of damage.
Yeah, exactly. So right now, Nova Kebab outranges. Wow, look at that. Nice. The punchline hitting the Zephyrs from that far range and getting the kill. Very nice job there by Team Kebab. That Joker is really making plays now.
So just like that, going to be Kebab securing themselves a couple kills, 2 into the hands of their carries. Now, we also have to recognize that Kebab has decided to run double punish this match as opposed to the Nova single.
Yeah, because they want to lock down jungle, because Lindis is really strong early. So if you don't allow her to farm and get her kind of early game spike, you can slow her down in terms of item building. She won't be able to be much of a big impact. But you can see her passive there, running from the bush, being able to poke. You know, that just makes her so strong when she's attacking from the bush like this. And they're going to set up, hopefully, a lane pressure here to then get map control, to then shove and push for Dragon. So you see the ability, the moon ability that shows up. That's Linda's ability. She actually reviews any heroes around her. So she's really good at giving vision for your team when you don't have any vision in that brush.
And so now we're up at the 3-minute mark here, and it's going to be Nova getting a nice little quick kill onto King. You do not need to be in that bush, buddy. You need to go home, and they send him to the grave just like that. Joker doing his job as well, making sure that they get themselves away. Light trying to get a little bit of extra damage with that poke, but it's not going to be enough. And with the 1-for-1, that's going to stop them from going back. The members of Nova are going to be forced to go back, and it looks like that might be the opportunity for them to go for that Abyssal Dragon. Dark is doing a good job, but another long-range snipe. That Joker put in work.
Like I said, if he's played, his timing and his accuracy on that has been phenomenal, and that gives over the Abyssal Dragon to Kebab, and now they're in a 1.5 gold lead. And look at the level lead. They have more level 5s than, you know, Roma just turned level 5, so that gives them a huge advantage now against Nova. They need to push this advantage, however. They need to set up an invade, take the bat, you know, continue to push the lead that they have here on the side of Kebab.
And so here we go. Kebab has secured themselves a nice early lead, 1.5 thousand gold. Crane's going to try to get a little bit of damage onto King, but that Rioma's going to just walk right away. Enough tanky stats. Now 3 members of Nova are going to be on the bottom side of the map. They've got themselves a minion wave to work with. You've got the damage, and look at that, 25% HP, a great little effort.
Look at
and
this Joker, very well played.
It is all across the mark as you are seeing this Joker pick. Something, again, we weren't expecting. We were talking a little bit about this off broadcast about if we were going to see this Joker pop off, and it wasn't too much of a priority for both of these teams, but with the 6-ban system.
It was a good draft because, again, Zio is really good against Joker. Again, he has the pick a card, any card ability, you know. He basically removes movement and parry effects from himself and gains a 30% movement speed, as well as he's immune to physical damage for 2 long seconds during a fight. That basically makes Lindis useless against him for 2 seconds if they try to focus him.
Yep, Light's going to get himself down to about 25% HP, but instead that 25 is going to go to 0, as Dark is going to have all the damage in the world to help finish them off. But regardless, it's going to be a 3-for-1 in favor against Kebab. And again, we are seeing Kebab stand themselves up 3-0-0 for that Joker, as well as 1-0-5.
That was a really good Plague Spectre by Louis there. I mean, he hit the entire team fully charged up. When you let a Preda hit you fully charged up for 2 seconds, it unleashes astronomical levels of damage. I mean, you need to move out the way and not get hit by that charged up Plague Spectre, because if you do, you're asking for your health bars to drop dramatically.
And so now it is Kebab that is taking over this game, as they're going to secure themselves the 2nd Abyssal Dragon of the game, as they are keeping themselves well and enough in the lead. 3,000 gold is sitting in their favor, as every effort
Oh, is it ultimate gonna come out here? Zill just, no, there's the ultimate come out. Look at the damage come out. He just deletes the L'Oreal quickly. Very nice gank there and play by SK Light. Well, if you look at Prada, I want to talk to her about real quick. The B ability is actually really good. The poison gas bomb allows them to knock back an opponent. So if they're trying to run away and you put that gas bomb in front of them, it'll knock that enemy towards your team. Or you can even knock people away if you're getting engaged upon. So pay attention to how Prada is going to be playing here, how they're charging up those Plague Specters, and how is he using the poison gas bombs to either kite and peel or use it to push an enemy into their team.
3,000 gold advantage in favor of Kebab. Nova, the coagulation and efficiency that they had in game number 1 wasn't quite enough here, or isn't rather quite enough in game number 2. Now, all right, Sweet J, I got to ask you. We're in a little bit of a low point. I have to ask you. Favorite fruit on a kebab?
Oh, fruit. It's got to be, I mean, I think of vegetables. I don't eat a kebab with fruit.
You don't eat a pineapple?
Oh, pineapple.
Pineapple on a kebab.
Hawaii,
You might not like pineapple pizza, but you might like pineapple on the Barbie.
Yeah, so let's see how they're trying to get Darkslayer map control here. They're setting up for a play to get the top tower, because if they get top tower, it opens up the Darkslayer side of the map for them to make a push for Darkslayer, which is what Nova actually did to them. So if Kebab is setting up the same play, they're looking pretty good, because the top side tower is very, very low in health right now. But mid is being pressured, and Ryoma has to rotate to mid to stop this wave so they don't lose a tower and give it away. But the bottom tower, Zill could go for that tower in the bottom there. No one is on the bottom tower, and Joker and Zill just move away.
I do like the opportunity, or not opportunity, but the patience that Nova has. They understand that they're in a little bit of a deficit situation, down 4,000 gold at just the 745 mark, but that gives them the opportunity to reset, farm themselves up, and catch up in some of these items. You're going to be able to secure their first game, third Abyssal Dragon. King tries to go it in, but iFlex is going to be able to take that away. Light's going to get himself a little bit of damage. Louis 1v9 is going to try to come help out. Well, that L'Oreal is going to go straight to the death timer.
Yeah, L'Oreal has no magic or barely any magic defense. She's probably going to build towards an Aegis, which is attack power defense, but I think she needs to build a Medallion of Troy and switch up the build here. So let's see if that's going to happen, because again, they have a Zill and a Prada, which both do magic damage. So the Medallion of Troy is a very important item for the side of Nova to build at this moment.
So here we are, the members of Team Kebab showing a resurgence in game number 2 of our second quarterfinal of the match. Remember, everyone, we still have 2 more quarterfinal matches left today for the European bracket, followed by a little quick break.
Look at that damage from Joker. He is pretty fed. I mean, he has he has 2 cleaving swords, which gives us a good amount of attack damage and a rank breaker, which basically has a lot of pierce given to him. And look at him. He uses ultimate to stun the Lindis, but they're not able to catch her off, and she gets away barely without any health.
Just enough of a situation for Kebab to reset themselves the fight. We do have ourselves, rather, that Dark Slayer on the menu if either one of these teams decide to order it up fresh. 27 and 37 seconds left remaining on those 2 other neutral monsters as King is going to try to get himself a nice little steal away. It's not going to be enough. He won't secure himself that victory, as we are coming up on a very crucial moment. The next set of items potentially being completed for both of these teams, and that next set of power spikes is going to be extremely important for this next team fights. Yeah,
it is going to be critical here. Who is going to basically make a play, get a kill, and set up themselves for Darkslayer, because the Darkslayer is a key objective now at this point of the game. To be able to get the damage application he gives, 30% damage boost to your entire team, to be able to push down tires and win team fights. So let's see what Nova's going to do here. They're going to back off and wait here. Looks like they're engaged, but Joker is on the Omen, and look at the amount of damage that comes out. Zill just comes in and cleans house, and there Nova Dark has no chance of surviving this fight.
Nope, not going to be anywhere near the mark. We saw the power of the L'Oreal in game number 1, but it wasn't a factor here.
Oh, iFlex may be able to steal this.
This would be catastrophic for the power of Kebab. He's lurking around the back. He knows he needs to come out and help his team. You can see multiple members of Kebab a little bit low. You're going to have a little bit of poke damage coming out of that Joker, but is it going to be enough? No, it's not. The
look at that
onslaught coming out of iFlex. Spirit Sentinel's low. Do they want to be able to take it? Nah, it doesn't even matter. He's still in the fight.
Man,
nice little snipe there.
One here. This is a really tough spot for them to be in.
Double kill.
The double kill comes out, and this is where we're starting to see Nova potentially breathe some life back into it. Kebab They do not have the level of synergy around that Slayer that we saw from Nova in game number 1, and as a result, they're going to end up dying. They're going to lose a turret. They're going to lose a life, and that's going to be Nova with a little bit of energy blown back in
Kebab
their
needs
sails.
to play more cautious here. They got to be careful because they're in the lead. They can secure this game, but because of the recent past minute here, some decisions they've made have now allowed Nova to get right back into this game, and beautiful aggressive plays by iFlex here, going in as Lindis and securing these key kills that are helping his team get right back into it and hopefully even out the lead here that Kebab has.
As we're now rounding up at 11.5 minutes in the game, Kebab found themselves in such an advantageous position at the very beginning of this match, but now it's Nova that is deciding to pull themselves back, and it's all on the back of iFlex. Dark had his carry in game number 1, but they are relying on the captain to pull themselves back in game number 2. 6-0-3 for Nova eSports, carry, captain, and DPS here.
iFlex is just playing so well, but look at that. They got the Abyssal Dragon and the Bomb Tower. Just such a great rotation there by the side of Nova here, playing really well. And now they're gonna even advantage here. Look at how fast Lindis is taking out this tower, and they just delete the Joker immediately with their focus here. Again, Nova is playing so well. They know how to take objectives. They know how to set up their team fights, and it's paying off for them really well.
Paying off indeed, as another turret, that is going to be 2 of the 3 inner turrets taken down. Top lane, the only one left remaining, but it looks like Crane wants to go in. An insane amount of damage on the enemy team for Team Kebab. Dark will go down, however, considering himself back onto the screen. The blue super minions have been deployed, but it's now 1 member left remaining on the side of Team Kebab. Is it going to be enough? No, it is not, but instead that's still going to be a 2-for-4 victory in favor.
Yeah, they have to get on this Lindis here. I mean, look at her build. She has the war boots to give her the attack speed. She has the Omni arms, more attack speed. The Clave Sanctity, which gives her crit damage, crit chance, and the amount of attack speed that she has and crit, you have to get on the Lindis here. If you don't get on Lindis backline, you allow iFlex to just do damage and punish you from a safe distance, then Kebab is going to really struggle against this composition, because if they can't kill the Lindis, he's just going to carry a lot of these team fights.
Carrying in the team fights indeed, as well as the positioning. And the positioning, if you want to think about it, while Nova is coming out ahead in these fights, they actually have themselves a 1,000 gold advantage. They need to have better positioning from Dark. As you can take a look, he's 0-6-6. Not the best of KDAs, and definitely not where the members of Nova want him to be.
Yeah, for sure. So let's see if Nova again is taking another dragon, and now they're nicely ahead, and they feel really comfortable, really confident now. All they need to do now is get a nice gank or get a Dark Slayer and end the game. If they take down the rest of the tier 3 towers, it's going to open up so much map control, and then also the super minions are going to help really push down the waves and allow them to get to the core sooner.
14 minutes into the game, 1 high ground turret in the mid taken in favor of Nova eSports. Only 3 turrets have taken on total by Kebab. Not the effort that they're wanting to pull themselves, despite a very strong showing in the early game. The next set of wins, and this is going to be the engage, the potential game ending. We've got Nova getting himself pulled in. 4 of the 5 members are there. Light isn't going to go down quite yet, but that's still going to allow them to take the high ground turret. The blue super minions are now in 2 of the 3 lanes.
Yeah, and look at that disengage. Nova got engaged upon pretty hard, and they disengaged immediately instead of trying to overly chase, and that really helped him. And look at this, Omen with that damage reduction and speed that he gets from Death's Embrace. That's why he's so good solo. He's able to use that ability to get away and reduce the damage that he's taken.
And so now Nova, it is the textbook MOBA strategy that they are reading from at this point in time. 2 of the 3 high ground turrets have been taken. There is 1 more left available, but first they're going to have to get through that tier 2 in the top lane. They're going to secure themselves that Spirit Sentinel, get all of the goodies that provides. 34 seconds left remaining until that next Abyssal Dragon, but instead it looks like they're just going to get themselves some resources and try to push into this Kebab Vade.
Yeah, Kebab has a chance to come back here. I mean, as long as they are able to secure a fight on the Lindis or let Joker kind of poke and not get poked up by Lindis and go in once the team is low, because Zeo does so much burst damage and Lindis barely has any type of defense.
Oh, but here's the last effort by Team Kebab. They want want to make something happen, but instead it's going to be Light going right to the grave. 3 members are already down as Nova is completely demolishing the members of Kebab. That's going to be 4. One member left remaining. That's going to be Louis 1v9, and it looks like that might be the game.
That was a really nice play by Lindis there. Ancestral Glory saved the day and gave her the ability to revive and come back to life. That's a very key item there, because Zeo jumped onto iFlex and just killed him, but he had Ancestral Glory ready, and they revived him right in the nick of time.
16 minutes was all it took for Nova eSports to dismantle the members of Team Kebab in game number 2.